All right, let's talk about a piece of advice you have almost definitely heard before. I mean, it's launched 1,000 self-improvement journeys. We're going to peel back the layers on the five-person formula. Is it really the secret to success, or is it kind of a trap for our relationships? Okay, let's get into it. And there it is, the legendary quote from the great Jim Rohn. It's so simple, right? It's memorable, and it just feels true. The idea is that the people you hang out with, your friends, your family, your coworkers, they don't just influence you a little bit. No, they fundamentally shape who you are. Their habits, their mindsets, their goals, all that stuff kind of seeps into you and can totally define where you're headed in life. And look, for a lot of people, taking this to heart has been a total game changer. But if you think about it for more than a second, you realize it might not be that straightforward. Yeah, because as soon as you really start to poke at this idea, some real-world problems pop up pretty fast. I mean, what if your five people are your family, and one of them is just super negative all the time? What if you're an introvert and you recharge by being alone? And then there's the biggest question of all. So first, let's just take this five-person rule at face value. If you interpret it literally, it brings up some really good questions. It can feel a little intense. This comment from a Reddit thread just nails it, right? If you're the average of your five closest people, but you don't really have a close circle, what happens then? Are you an average of 0? See, a literal interpretation can fall apart pretty quick, or even worse, it can make someone feel bad about their situation, which is the exact opposite of what this advice is supposed to do. So here's the crucial pivot. Maybe Ron's idea is less about a literal head count of 5 people, and way more about the sum total of the influences you let into your life. It's about the information, the attitudes, and the ideas you're consuming all the time. And once you start to see it through that lens, well, the whole concept becomes a lot more flexible and honestly way more powerful for today's world. To really get this, we've got to go deeper into Jim Rohn's core philosophy. It's not just about who you chill with. It's about the internal system you use to navigate the world. Rohn had this amazing metaphor for it: setting your sail. This right here is the engine room. Your personal philosophy is basically the set of beliefs and values you use to make decisions every single day. Rohn argued that this is the #1 thing that determines how your life turns out. It's not your circumstances, it's how you react to those circumstances. It's the filter that every single influence, good or bad, has to pass through before it can actually affect you. And here it is, that central metaphor. It's so good. The wind is just stuff that happens. It's the economy, it's a personal setback, it's a lucky break. That wind blows on all of us, right? But your personal philosophy, that's how you set your sail. Are you going to turn into that wind and use its energy to move forward? Are you going to let it just blow you off course? Or are you going to just let the sail flap around uselessly? That's what really determines your destination, way more than the wind itself. Okay, so if the whole game is managing influence to build that philosophy, what does that look like today, in our totally digital world? I mean, our inner circle looks a whole lot different than it did when Rohn was talking about this. Some of our biggest influences might be people we've never even met. This comment from Reddit user green_guitar just captures it perfectly. They totally get the modern shift. If you're constantly consuming content that helps you improve, you can get the same results as surrounding yourself with positive people. Your 5 people could totally be the voices in your headphones or the authors on your bookshelf. Exactly. Think about it for a second. Who are you really spending your time with? Is it an hour every morning with a cynical news show that leaves you feeling stressed out? Or is it an hour with a podcast that really challenges you to think bigger? Are you mindlessly scrolling through social media that just makes you feel jealous? Or are you reading books by people who have actually done what you want to do? Every single one of these is a huge influence, shaping your personal philosophy every day, whether you realize it or not. Now, of course, we've got to address the potential dark side here. This comment from user CypherMX brings up a super important point. If you take the 5 people rule too literally, you can end up treating your friendships like transactions, like you're just using people to level up your own life. And that is the trap hidden in this formula. And this is the healthy, mature way to think about it. It's not about being cold and calculating and swapping out your friends like stocks in a portfolio. It's about awareness. It's about just recognizing which relationships and which inputs are lifting you up and which ones are draining your energy. It's about consciously choosing to spend more time with those positive influences and maybe putting up some healthy boundaries with the negative ones. So if our personal philosophy is the sail and all these influences are the wind, then what's the rudder? How do we actually steer the ship day to day? For Rohn, it all came down to this simple, powerful equation based on daily discipline. This is one of Rowan's most profound ideas. Success and failure, they aren't these huge, dramatic events. They are the slow, compounding result of our tiny daily choices. Failure is simply making a few small errors in judgment, like Rowan always said, choosing the soda over the water, and then just repeating that choice every single day. And success? Well, it's just the opposite. Practicing a few simple disciplines every single day until they snowball into something incredible. Let's make this super concrete with a financial example Ron loved to use. He taught a simple discipline. First, learn to live on 70% of what you bring home. It's not about how much you make, it's about the discipline of not spending it all. Second, don't just save, create assets. And an asset isn't just stocks, it could be a skill you develop, knowledge you can sell, something that works for you. And third, plan your money. Before the month even starts, you give every single dollar a job. These aren't complicated ideas, right? But when you practice them every day, they build real wealth. And this brings us to the ultimate point of all this self-improvement, all this discipline. For Rohn, the goal was never just about getting more stuff or more money. The real prize was the person you had to become to achieve those things. This quote, this gets right to the heart of his entire philosophy. You don't get more by chasing it. You get more by attracting it. And you attract it by developing yourself, your skills, your character, your discipline, your philosophy. Personal development has to come first. A better life follows. This is such a powerful idea. Rohn used to say that even if someone wins the lottery, right? If they haven't grown into a person who can handle that level of wealth and responsibility, the money will almost always shrink back down to a level they can handle. Your internal growth basically sets the thermostat for your external success. It's really hard to keep what you haven't become ready for. And so this is where we land. This is the ultimate reframe. The 5-person formula isn't some transactional strategy for getting more stuff. It's a prompt. It's a tool to make you ask this one question. When you look at your influences, the people, the podcasts, the books, you're not just asking, what will this get me? You're asking, who is this helping me become? And that, according to Jim Rohn, is the only question that really matters.